My name is June and I am an OTA student, MCC. And in this video, me and some of my classmates are going to show you a simple activity that you can do with your child that helps them with their fine motor skills. Fine motor skills are the skills that we use when we draw, when we write, when we button shirts, when we use zippers. It's those tiny movements of our fingers. And there's activities you can do with your child to help them develop those. And the activity that we are going to show you today is done with homemade Play-Doh. And then we're going to adjust the activity to use it with different ages. So we're going to show you the recipe and the list of items that you'll need, that you'll easily find in your house. And this is for children about ages 2 to 4. And my colleagues are going to show you the next steps.
The Play-Doh that you have homemade and has non-toxic ingredients can be used for many fine motor developments, such as using the pointer finger and thumb to pinch the edges of the Play-Doh. You can also hide items that are of interest to the child in the Play-Doh, such as hard animals, rattles, teethers, anything like that the child could then move the Play-Doh around with their fingers and find the hidden item. You can also flatten out the Play-Doh and draw simple shapes in there, such as a square, and then have the child trace that with their finger so that they get the fine motor development of tracing it. You could also draw a simple shape such as a circle and have them trace that with their finger, or you could use an unsharpened pencil. Thank you.
To grade the activity up, you can do own Play-Doh at home and add more flour, what is gonna make the Play-Doh more thick and harder. You can add also food coloring so the Play-Doh looks more appealing for the children. If the Play-Doh is firmer, the child have to use more finger strength to squeeze, mold, and this develops hand muscle and coordination, as well builds arch of the hand. The harder material supports fine motor development in hands and fingers and increase endurance, which children use later for using scissors and pencil. Later on, the finger motor is needed for other things like tying shoes and doing all the little things. So as we see, Play-Doh helps not only with having fun, but also increase the fine motor skills. Manipulating the Play-Doh, toddler and preschoolers increase strength by pounding in a Play-Doh, pushing, playing in shapes and objects. They are building strength in their fingers and hands muscle by rolling, poking, squishing, pinching, and adding details to shape an object. You can ask a toddler to poke in a Play-Doh to work on finger isolation. Encourage the toddler and preschooler to use Play-Doh to create numbers and shapes. Also, they can make own name, their age from Play-Doh, or the names of the people familiar to them, so the learning will be more meaningful for them. You can encourage toddlers also visually to make something what represent their culture and make some meaningful symbols and patterns.
1. As you can see, Play-Doh can be extremely fun to play with. You can do it with your young children around the house without it having to be complicated at all. Now, with our younger children, or just for a more simplified activity in general, we can just play with the Play-Doh on its own. This can help also by working with our children's fine motor skills. Now to start, you can take the Play-Doh and just put it on the table and press it with our palms. And you can have your child move from your palms to the fingertips. Have them experiment with different pressures, and you can see the fun imprints that you leave in the Play-Doh. Now from here, we can take it a step further, and we can take a piece of that Play-Doh, and we can transfer it from hand to hand. Have your child squeeze with their hand and their fingers. This can help work on finger strength, as well as coordination. Now you can also take this piece of Play-Doh, and you can turn it into a rope or a ball. So you can take it and roll it between your hands, or you can take it on the tabletop. And this turns the Play-Doh into a rope or a fun snake for your child. Now you can also take this piece of Play-Doh and you can roll it between your hands in a circular motion, which will create a sphere or a ball. Now these are just a few fun, simple activities that you can do with your child. Hopefully you can take these and go out and have some fun.